Hey guys, this is a first painting video for Atelier, and I am attempting to show you how to paint strawberries on this. That's my idea. Today we're going to be using the Angelus yellow and green, Angelus white and red, potentially the gold, and maybe the pink if I feel like it. I did already prep with this, the Angelus Leather Prepper Deglazer, because this already has a covering on it that will prevent the leather from sticking well. So I also have my yellow cup of water and my handy Corelle plate that I use as a palette, which you can tell. And then I've got, like paper towels. So anyway, what I'm going to start doing is doing the structure of the strawberry. Strawberries are pretty easy if you think about it. They're just kind of the shape of a heart. So you can kind of start with that sort of in mind. And depending on how big you want it, I'm going to make mine kind of small because I want to fit mine in these stripes. Sorry, I just had a very loud vehicle go by. And that was not quiet. So, obviously you can tell that these are not perfect. Part of the thing is fruit isn't perfect. So, you could do more. I'm just going to do kind of a cluster right here. Kind of deciding, because I'm left-handed, maybe... do I want to do these upside down to match the pattern? And they say to do this in small, thin layers. I have a hard time doing that sometimes because I tend to paint in a way where thin layers are not something I do easily. So I might struggle with that a little bit, but just so you know, you're supposed to have thin layers and let it dry 15 to 20 minutes in between. And because of that, I'm kind of grabbing some of the paint from the other places that I feel like is too much. So that way, it will kind of, help that out. Let's see, what do I want to do? I'm trying to decide. Oh yeah, that one's too thick. I'm trying to decide if I want to go ahead and just leave it like this, or if I want to put stuff down here too. Part of me kind of feels like this is going to look good, so maybe I should just leave it as is. So, take the brush, rinse it off real good. You can tell I already, when I was getting the red out, kind of got it on here first anyway. Okay, so now I'm done with that one. Now I have several types of brushes here today. Some of these are specifically designed for watercolor because that tends to be kind of the style that I do. This one you can tell has that really skinny tip on it. The cool thing about this is when you lay down the color, which I don't know, it's probably going to bead on my hand, but you can lay it down like this. Oh yeah, you're not going to be able to see it. It lays down a thin line. Yeah, I'll just show you. And I kind of want to do a mixture of green and yellow for the leaves, and I'm not going to mix it real good because I kind of like having unmixed colors. I think that it's pretty. So I'm going to do like vine kind of shapes, just very thin ones, because this has that little tip on it. I can do that. And I kind of roll it sometimes to get the excess off. And because this is pebbled leather, this is a bit of a challenge because it does want to be a little persnickety and not be cooperative with making the lines. It kind of gets bumpy, but we're just gonna roll with it. Now I'm making leaves. And honestly, a lot of the times when I paint, I just kind of, I do what's called, I paint from the heart, is what I say. Just kind of feel it. If I feel like something's looking good, I'm like, good, I'm gonna keep that. But sometimes I'll not like it, and I'll change it up. Right now I'm kind of like the way this is going. So you can stroke forward and back on this. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of give it a little bit of different colors. Or you can wiggle it, the colors. That makes a really fat line. Now, strawberry plants tend to have a little bit of a wider base for the leaf, which doesn't really go conducive for that kind of, you know, it's too thin. But if that's how you feel like doing it, and if that's how my heart's telling me I feel like doing it, then I do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, because this is about you and what makes you happy. It doesn't matter if it's quote unquote correct. Okay, so I'm gonna clean off my brush again. And as you can tell, I got way too much paint out. These are a little bit hard to pour out of and get just a little bit. So I'd say be careful with those. I like ones that have the pop top because then you can just turn them over and kind of squeeze a little out. But these Angelus ones are not like that. Okay, so another thing that I do, technically, just so you guys know, you're supposed to wait 15 minutes in between. Okay, so I did shake all these up beforehand. You can see this is kind of gold, but what I can do is just barely tip the end of the brush into the gold paint, and that will be enough. And then technically we don't have to pour any out. Of course I get a cat hair. Would it be a Martha Miati video if there wasn't a cat hair? So we kind of have to be careful with this again, because really we're supposed to wait 15 to 20 minutes in between drying, but just for the sake of the video, I'm just showing you guys what it looks like. And I'm just doing the little seeds on the strawberries, in case you were wondering what this was. Okay, you can kind of tell, adorable, right? We got upside down ones, one right side up one. Okay, so now what we can do is kind of further it out if you want to. Make it a little more fun. So let's say I want to grab some of the yellow, some of the green, and I want to do the typical strawberry floofs at the top. And the reason why I'm making this a different color is so it'll show up a little better. So it'll differentiate between the rest of the leaves that are on there. Now on the white it's kind of hard to read, so can't make it too light. And my window's open, so it's a really nice day out. Okay, so there's that. Now this is on the way to being something really cute. I absolutely love those. Yes, it's not perfect, but that is okay. because this is just about having fun. Something else I learned, I know this is really interesting, at least I thought it was. Oh, I've got a little hair that landed on there and got green. Okay, this is one of the cool things about the prepper and deglazer. So, you can get some on there and watch this. Bam, it's gone. Just have to be careful not to get it on the stuff that you want to keep. You see how easy that was to get off? Like there's even, to me, it looks like right here, there's a little bit of some kind of yellow stain that was on the wallet before I got it. Sometimes, depending on what it is, if you put the deglazer on there, you can get it off. But obviously, that, I mean, I can still kind of see it, but okay. So, after I do that, then I kind of decide, okay, is there anything else I want to do? Okay, now what I was going to say originally, before I got distracted. One of the things I learned when I used to go to the nail salon, haven't gone in a while, but is that you can use the end of a paintbrush to make perfect little dots. Isn't that neat? Now, obviously, the purple leather, like I was saying before, it's going to make it a little difficult, but move that one around a little bit too much. But I just think that doing stuff like this is really fun. In a way, I feel like it's cathartic because you get to design something the way that you want it. And who cares if anybody else likes it? It makes you happy. Okay, let's see. I just did that thing again. Something else you can also do if you can catch it in time, which then I always wipe the end of this off, is get a little bit of a brush with water. If it's not too late, you can always wipe it off. Now with the gold, that can be a little tricky because the gold leaves iridescence where you've touched it. So anyway, all right, that I feel like is a little mishmashy too. To be honest, I'm not real happy with where I put that first dot anyway. I feel like I put it too far down. So, you can redo it. Not that big of a deal. There, I like that placement better. I really like that. That's super cute. Okay, now you can see the back side is what it originally looked like. Just chevron print, plain. The front side, cute strawberries and gold. Now we have to decide, do we want to do even one step further? And you know what I tend to say? Sure. Because that's just kind of how I am. So I'm going to try to get the gold into the Dooney and Bourke and see if, ooh, I just got way too much on there. Now again, this is a little bit of a risk because this gold could just go absolutely everywhere. And I kind of do this to rub off the excess, that way I'm not wasting. Rub off the brush on a paper towel to get most of it off, and then mix. That way you're not getting your water super dirty. Okay, so then there's a couple ways you can go about this. First of all, I would not have put that much paint down originally. So that was a little bit of an oops. Oh, shucks. Okay, I was trying to find something, but I don't see it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find one quick enough. Okay, so you could use something that's flat and like rub it across it, kind of like a plastic spatula, which I had something like that, but I don't know where it is right now. Or the other way you can do is just try to get something flat. Like, let's say, use the cap. Do this with it. You kind of keep moving it along the bottom till it picks up everything on the surface, but not the part where you want the gold to stay, which is why, like I was saying, I wouldn't have probably put that much on there. But see how that's leaving it, because it's flat, it's not going into the areas that are embossed. Now, if you want to do it even quicker, you can get a little bit of water on it and kind of rub it around once you get most of the paint off, if you don't want to smush the paint around. Okay, but look at that. And we've got a shiny label. I think that's super pretty, and actually did leave just a little bit of gleam on there, but I'm okay with that. It's kind of cool. In fact, I think I might just take the paint that's on my hands, or on here, just kind of rub it on that. See how it just sort of gives that little bit of sheen? That way it'll match. Anyway, I'm really happy with how that turned out. So now I'm going to do the other side. But before I do the other side, I am going to let this dry a little bit. I have a fan behind me, and I'm probably going to stick it in the fan breeze, so that way I can make sure this is all dried before I try to do the other side, because I do not want the paint to smudge, because that would be really sad to do all that work and then have the paint smudge. I think I must have touched this. Oh no, touched it here too. But see, like I said, the Angelus deglazer, you just get it on there, it'll take it off. I probably did that while I was trying to focus on the other thing. Another thing you can do too is use a not a toothpick. Well, I mean, you could, but it's not what I was saying. You can use a Q-tip. There's the word I was looking for. Oh, this is bad because I forgot the deglazer actually takes my gloves apart as well. But we've got a little bit on there, and unfortunately, when I was doing this, I kind of touched it with an area that was already wiped with paint, and so it got the residual paint from the paper towel on it. All right, I think I might try to fix this up just a smudge. And again, just get a little bit of that gold paint and just fix it in the middle, because I kind of messed it up a little by touching other things. That's one of the things you have to be careful, is when you have stuff on your hands. Yeah, sometimes it does get everywhere. But anyway, I think I absolutely love that. Tell me what you guys think. That was super quick, super fast, you can tell. I did not fast forward this video at all. It is, you know, less than 20 minutes, and I have a really cute wallet pouch with strawberries. And obviously, shameless plug, I have got my strawberry, like I said, I'm obsessed with strawberries lately. My strawberry keychain that can go really well with this. Or I have the little mini one. I don't know if I'm gonna make more little mini ones. This might be the only one I make, because it was so hard to do because it was so small. Or one of the little plastic ones. But anyway, I absolutely love this. Let me know if you want to see some more strawberries like this. I might could do it with other colors. I have a blue chevron Dooney and Bourke that I could do it with. Just let me know what you guys think. Like and subscribe.